So, PlayStation Experience 2017. Ich bin hier mit Randy von FARPOINT, aber er stellt es gleich selber vor.
We're in the middle of the most fascinating scientific opportunity in history.
You could introduce yourself and what you do and what you did and what kind of game FARPOINT is.
My name is Randy Nolta. I'm from Impulse Gear. I'm one of the founders of the company, and I'm the art director. FARPOINT is a first-person shooter that's designed to use the aim controller, which I have here. This is the PlayStation VR aim controller, which what's really unique about it is coupled with the VR headset, it really gives you a new immersive way to play first-person shooters.
Which is pretty awesome, I would say. I was just able to play for like 10 minutes and I was so into it. And it was actually one thing I was so looking forward to, that when VR finally came out, to play a first-person shooter and to have a gun in your hand that looks like a gun and feels like a gun. I think VR is all about not only the vision, but also about, you know, touching stuff. Yeah. That's going to be the future, to be able to, you know, feel stuff as well. Yeah. Could you just talk about what were the difficulties, what were like the things you thought about doing this game, and then you started doing it, and then you thought like, oh, maybe this isn't even working because this is like all so new and we have to we're like the first ones doing this. Like, what was the process?
So when we had a really early prototype, we actually weren't working on FARPOINT. It was a totally separate tech demo, but it was incredible. It just felt really good. It felt natural, and it felt like a new way to play a shooter that would be really adopted well by everybody. One thing that I found to be extremely interesting is anybody can come in and play it. You don't need the previous multiple years of shooter experience to come in and be any good at it. It's all based on your reflexes and your motion. It's you doing the action, and it's one-to-one tracking. It's such a unique way to play games. And what's unique about FARPOINT as well, when we really started this project, we wanted to make something that would be a core game. So we went all in on the narrative as well. It isn't just here's a controller with a great aiming scheme and something that feels new. No, we wanted to put you into a world and give you a story.
Are you seeing this?
It's alien. How long do you think it's been here?
A lot longer than us. Which could mean one of two things. Either whatever was on it is dead by now, or
What?
they've had time to breed.
Something that's kind of unique about our story as well is it's kind of a developing love story between two people. You end up on an alien planet. So at the beginning, you're a pilot in FARPOINT. You come in your ship, and you're coming to a space station that's orbiting Jupiter. They're studying an anomaly. The anomaly ruptures, and you go through a wormhole, and it pulls your crew into this alien planet. So as you're progressing through FARPOINT, you're kind of following in the footsteps of your crew and learning about their relationship as they've had to struggle surviving on this planet.
Is there any more to the game? Is there like indoor spaces? Is there going to be like human adversaries or human interaction with people?
We do have a lot of different lighting scenarios and a lot of different locations. So in one of the levels, for example, you're moving through, there's a lot of lava moving around you. So you're moving through a cave with a lot of steam and lava. Mm-hmm. One of the other levels, there's a crash site. So there's burning metal, and you hear the creaking of the metal as you go through. And there's one of the other enemies that we aren't showing here today, but it's a drone. So it's moving around, kind of flying and scanning the environment. And you can sneak through this burning wreckage as the drones are looking for you. So we definitely are trying to give a different feel. We want players to have a sense that they've moved through a large amount of space, and they've actually accomplished something.
No matter how interesting this place is, no one will ever know.
Maybe Earth isn't home anymore.
We are not staying here. Survivors keep moving. I'm going to get us the hell out of here.
Have you ever tried, or are you planning to maybe put a bit more of the real-life movements into the game, where you can actually run and move? Because I know there's these devices you can stand on moving around.
We've explored some of that technology, but really we're trying to build something that most consumers can get into their hands. This kind of control scheme is somewhat of a hybrid between like your traditional DualShock controls and then the new movement controls with the input device. I think this hybrid solution works pretty well because we want a lot of people to be able to enjoy these experiences. That being said, I'm really interested in a lot of the newer sound technology that's coming out. There are these vests and stuff that you can wear. These guys are starting to create software development kits for VR game makers where we'll be able to do things like when a bullet hits you in FARPOINT, you'll be able to feel it from that specific point. I mean, right now the experience is so immersive. We had another VR developer who works on Starblood Arena. He's been on tour with us around Europe. He was playing our game for the first time and one of the spiders jumped at him and he ripped the headset off because it was so immersive. I can only imagine that if you start to incorporate that sound impact as well, the experience is just going to be incredible.
I've been waiting for you. A long time. You know who I am?
Let me just have one more question. Is there anything in the near future that you could hint at?
We're definitely still trying to figure out what the next major project is going to be, but what I would say is that it really looks like this type of input device as well as VR would work very well for a competitive type shooter. It is something that everyone in our team is passionate about, so we'll be exploring that option.
That would be cool, you know, to do online multiplayer shooter with this device. Well, it's been great talking to you. Thank you so much for your time. And good luck with the game and your company and everything in your future. Thank you, man. Wir spielen jetzt noch ein bisschen FARPOINT.
Be sure to check out FARPOINT. It's coming out on May 17th. I'm Randy Nolta, and you're watching Nerdbeilage.